All right, are the days of big upfront payouts and bonuses for LIV Golf over? There's a new report that just dropped that seems to indicate that they are.
Nobody ever thought it would come to this. Not from a league drenched in wild billions. Not from an operation everyone swore had unlimited cash behind it. And definitely not from a project that stormed into golf, split the sport in half, lured away PGA superstars, and set off lawsuits like fireworks. But now, the whispers won't stop. The tone has shifted. The confidence is gone. And behind closed doors, a question is quietly haunting players, agents, sponsors, and insiders alike. Is LIV Golf actually bleeding cash? And did the collapse already begin when nobody was looking? Because something feels off. The energy around LIV isn't bold anymore. It's tense, defensive, almost fragile. The kind of vibe you get right before something big breaks. For a league that once moved like it could bulldoze tradition with a checkbook, the silence is loud. And when you start connecting the dots, the story stops sounding crazy. It starts sounding inevitable. From the very beginning, the math never quite made sense. LIV showed up throwing money like it was raining from the sky. 9-figure contracts, guaranteed payouts, bonuses rumored to be north of $300 million, private jets, luxury hotels, custom team branding, massive purses that made PGA majors look modest. It was excess stacked on excess. At first, nobody questioned it. The assumption was simple. The money never runs out. But insiders started side-eyeing the numbers early, and quietly, the tone began to change. Billions were being burned in record time. Tournaments cost far more than they generated. Team operations ballooned overnight. Prize money flew out faster than any sponsor could replace it. Analysts who once praised the disruption started shifting their language. One called it financial chaos wearing a luxury mask. Another compared it to lighting money on fire just to see who flinches first. And slowly, the golf world started smelling smoke. Early losses are normal for new leagues, but this wasn't a dip. This was hemorrhaging. Strategy started to look like panic, and the deeper you dig, the uglier it gets. Because for LIV to survive, it needed eyeballs, real fans, real ratings, not just headlines. And that's where things went sideways fast. Week after week, LIV events pulled shockingly low viewership. Some broadcasts barely cracked a few 100,000 viewers nationwide. Others didn't even register among the top cable programs of the day. One media analyst joked that the ratings looked like late-night infomercial traffic. That joke hit a little too close to home. Then came the CWU deal, the supposed breakthrough that was meant to legitimize the league. Instead, it turned into an embarrassment. Some CW affiliates reportedly refused to air events live. Others quietly bumped tournaments for reruns. In certain markets, LIV was replaced with local programming that stations knew would do better. And then, almost overnight, the partnership vanished. No renewal, no announcement, just silence, like the whole thing never happened. After that, LIV leaned harder into streaming, but the damage was already done. Feeds froze, coverage disappeared. Even fans who wanted to watch couldn't figure out where or how. And that hyped-up team format? It never landed. Viewers didn't care about captains or standings. The concept never stuck. No audience means no sponsors. Brands don't pay for vibes. They pay for visibility. And once the ratings sheets came in, insiders say several sponsors walked immediately. No hesitation, no second chances. When sponsors leave quietly, it's never a good sign. Inside LIV, the mood shifted fast. Players who once flexed luxury perks started whispering about delays and cutbacks. Appearance fees quietly adjusted. Travel budgets restructured, which is corporate language for shrinking. The dream life started cracking at the edges. When millionaires begin asking questions about money, you know something's wrong. And then the timing got worse. Right as LIV was struggling to justify its spending, the PGA merger chaos exploded. What was framed publicly as a strategic partnership started looking more like a lifeline, a rescue wrapped in PR. Reports leaked that some backers were furious, feeling like billions had been poured into a rebellion that might fold back into the very system it tried to destroy. Players reportedly started demanding clarity. Agents started asking uncomfortable questions. And suddenly, nobody could explain what the merger actually meant. That's when the narrative flipped. LIV stopped being the future and started feeling like a risky bet teetering on the edge. Interviews dried up, confidence vanished. Analysts stopped talking about innovation and started tracking burn rates. Fewer events got locked in. Prize money confirmations slowed. Whispers of staff layoffs overseas surfaced under the cover of organizational restructuring. Silence became the loudest signal of all. Sponsors hesitated. Networks avoided long-term commitments. Crowds thinned. Merchandise gathered dust. Behind the scenes, insiders described the energy as bad, really bad. Without sponsors, LIV leaned harder on a single funding source. And that's when the whispers grew louder, because relying on one deep pocket works until it doesn't. And when it stops, everything collapses at once. Players started feeling it too. The lack of world ranking points, the majors becoming harder to access, the realization that some bridges back to the PGA were permanently burned. What once felt rebellious started feeling like a trap. Agents quietly explored options. Insiders described the league as stuck in neutral, with no pulse and no momentum. Then the numbers started circulating. Analysts estimated LIV was burning more than $200 million a year. Some insiders whispered it was closer to $400 million annually once all costs were counted. Massive contracts, production expenses that rivaled music, festivals, marketing budgets with little return, failed US TV negotiations, sponsors staying away, ticket sales sliding. The picture got ugly fast. Even unlimited money eventually hits resistance. Reports suggested pressure from the financial backers had shifted. No longer spend whatever it takes, but prove this can stand on its own. That's a nightmare for a league that's never shown profitability. Then came the quiet signs nobody wanted to acknowledge. Delayed bonuses, adjusted payouts, agents combing contracts, managers reading fine print like it's a stock crash. That's when the B word started floating in whispers. Not publicly, not officially, but everywhere. Bankruptcy, not confirmed, but impossible to ignore. Fans noticed too. Clips of empty stands went viral. Analysts called out missing sponsors. Social media filled with theories. What was once sold as golf's future now looked like a high-end experiment losing oxygen. Players began looking trapped. Captains dodged questions. Leadership stayed silent. Spending froze. Executives stepped out of the spotlight. All of it pointed to one brutal reality. The confidence was gone. Now the power dynamic has flipped. The PGA smells weakness. Merger talks feel less like compromise and more like control. LIV is fighting to keep autonomy while trying not to look desperate. Players are stuck in the middle, unsure if contracts hold, unsure if teams survive, unsure if their legacies are taking a hit. At this point, it's not even about money anymore. It's about survival. The next few months may decide everything: stabilization or collapse, restructure or retreat, comeback or quiet fade. LIV could still shock everyone and pull it together, but right now, the warning signs are everywhere. Overspending, tanking ratings, vanished TV deals, sponsor exits, internal confusion, burn rates stacking up. Is LIV officially bankrupt? No. There's no announcement, no filing, no collapse yet. But are they social? Cracks wide enough to make even loyal fans uneasy? Absolutely. This league was supposed to rewrite golf history. Instead, it might become a cautionary tale about burning too fast and too bright. Whether this ends in reinvention or implosion, one thing is clear: the era of unchecked confidence is over, and whatever happens next will reshape the sport forever.